Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning to you all. Good morning to you, viewers. And good morning to you, all my commentators, my subscribers, and all the Biafrans and the lovers of Biafran freedom. Well, before I proceed, I want to let us know that we have recorded another victory at the Nigerian court or at the Fulani government of Nigerian court. Nnamdi Kanu have yet recorded another victory through the lead counsel through the lead counsel Mike Chief Osekome, the SAN. In fact, anywhere where you dey, just keep clapping your hand because we must go. Biafra must surely stand whether the devil like it or not. And that's how the thing take be. So make una hear this headline. This one is intriguing headline and it is very, very coercion. It is very, very a good one in short. You're supposed to call it not breaking news but good news. Court grants Nnamdi Kanu's request to have access to all his medical doctors of his choice. If they like, make them be 100 or 20. The court have already ruled on this. This one no be say the DSS or what did they call them? The SSS. They will then turn the court order down. Now, anything that will make them now to say no to whatever the court that have granted to Nnamdi Kanu, it is tantamount to what? To contempt of the court, which the federal government, which the high court and also some lawyers and some groups are calling out the DG of SSS, a bit DSS, will be somebody bitchy of contempt of court. So anything that will make them again to commit this another contempt of court in this Nnamdi Kanu's case, my dear, that man must surely go in for it. So anyway, they make it just the what? They jam your hand together because Chukwuoke Abiama onye bring me here niile o me go kwaye again ko na esi eme ya make una no vex because say I come late today. I don't usually come late to class but make una no vex because there's an Igbo adage that says ihe kante dakute n'ime ọnụ. I thought the way bigger than cricket suddenly enter into the mouth of a cricket. That is the English version of it. So I don't know Yoruba version or Hausa version or Ibibio and the rest of other ethnic languages that you have in Nigeria. So I beg you, make I use this opportunity now. Thank everyone where they comment for my content, whether you say good or you say bad, but for the fact that you commented. May the God Almighty bless you at the point of your need. And I wish you whatever you wish yourself. If you wish yourself good, so be it. If you wish yourself bad, so be it. Me, I cannot wish you something you never wish yourself. That is one thing about this life. And now, as I kid you to let Maraka do where to Yenegi, Ota called the Bicon Kudochia. Let us go straight to the reason why we are here this Saturday morning. Please, before I forget, today happens to be the 22nd in the month of July and in the year of 2023. And I know say this month now, it don't just gradually they tell us bye bye. Anyway, where it be. Now so the thing take bill because as now, if there's no night, there will be no morning. If there's no morning, there will be no night. So it must, and if there's no sunshine, there will be no rain. The Federal High Court has granted application filed by the leader of the Indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to have access to all his medical doctors of his choice outside the facilities of Department of State Service. Yes, all. Emphasis on all. So whether, if you like, you can pack 1 million of them. Biafrans can afford it so that they will take good care of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mohamedike one of Igbo land. Nigerian News report that the court also ordered that all the medical records of the IPOP leader should be made available to him on the ground that he requires urgent ear surgery amidst his reported failing health. The Liberal judgment, Justice Nyako, also ordered the secret police to also monitor, record, and seal all medical seasons administered on the IPOP leader for security purposes. The trial judge also dismissed the preliminary objection filed by the DSS challenging the application before it, on ground that the Kanu has the right to medical service even in detention, of course, because now a person will die alive, now they go and now they stand trial, according to the constitution of the Fulani government of Nigeria. The court, in its judgment, also ordered that all Kanu's medical records be made available to the IPOB leader. In other words, Kanu, who has been in the custody of the DSS since the June of 2021, was facing terrorism-related charges brought against him by the secret police. So, more to come on this news, and I'll keep on briefing the House each time I have any tangible news like this one, because I don't like to bring bad news. All my news is always on point, and it is always good news and breaking news. Charlie Boy, or Charles Oputa, or Charles Chukwuemeka Oputa, as you choose to call him, popularly known as Charlie Boy, have stated the reason I have not left Nigeria despite Baba Tinubu being president, according to the area father. The veteran Nigerian entertainer Charles Oputa, popularly known as Charlie Boy, has opened up on the reason he has not relocated from Nigeria despite the lose of his preferred presidential candidate, Peter Gregory Obi, at the 2023 polls. Nigerians record that a 73-year-old man have vowed to leave Nigeria if either Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Poverty Congress (APC) or Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) emerged as president. Tinubu was declared the winner of the February 25th presidential election and subsequently sworn in as the president on the May 29th, 2023. However, months after the president's swearing in, Charlie Boy has not indicated any interest in leaving the country. On Friday, the entertainer took his Twitter handle to disclose the reason for not keeping to the promise he made earlier. He said that he had chosen not to leave because he was hopeful that things would turn around eventually. According to him, I remember over 1 year ago, I've been talk say if PDP or APC win the election, I go just pack my things, come out Nigeria. Today, I'm still staying put in Nigeria because I am hopeful in the face of all the poto I see. In the face of all the poto. Okay, in the face of all the poto I see. Poto gonna. Poto. Thank you, Peter Obi, for renewing my hope. God bless you, according to the entertainer. Fue Haike, according to Aisha Yusuf. He's talking to the masses, to the PDP, and also to the APC. He said, and I quote, "You laughed at us. Why we marched for Peter Obi? Now it is your turn to trek." Aisha Yusuf. One good thought deserves another. So when I talk say, hey, this government will do good, make on see you for you the lag. Tuition fee now from 19,000 have skyrocketed. Whether now 1,000% have been awaiting 200,000. Ibadan, Ogun State, and other parts. Tuition fees now have raised from 40,000 naira, skyrocketed to 100,000. Just they want to make everything now 100,000. Very soon now, our primary schools and even nursery school will be collecting 100,000 as tuition fees. On our way down, Fulani government of Nigeria. Popular Nigerian activist Aisha Yusuf has mocked those who were laughing as supporters of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi while they are campaigning for him. Yusuf said those who were laughing at obedience for doing the 1 million march are now also doing the same because of the fuel scarcity, a resultant effect of the hike in the price of commodity in Nigeria. According to the news, Nigerians record that earlier on Tuesday, the pump price of fuel increased from 539, that's why we are crying and lamenting, to 617 naira per liter. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, will be NNPCL, attributed the hike in price to market forces. The NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer will be Mele Kayari disclosed this while speaking to the journalist after a closed-door meeting with the Vice President where he named Kashim Shettima, the Almajiri at the State House in Abuja. Kyari said that the regulation of the oil sector, market realities will force the price of petrol up, sometimes at other times force it down. We have the marketing wing of our company. They adjust prices depending on the market realities. This is really what is happening. This is the meaning of making sure that the market regulates itself so that prices will go up and sometimes they will come down also. This is what we have seen, and in reality, this is how the market works, he said. Due to the price increment, Nigerians who are unable to afford transportation now trek to save costs. Some trek almost 10 miles, 10 kilometers, not 10 miles, to go to work and back. Weighing on the situation, via her verified Twitter handle, Yusuf wrote, those who were laughing at us when we are doing 1 million march for P2B, now they are doing their own. They are doing their own 1 million march because of fuel scarcity. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for nothing, according to Aisha Yusuf. We have another situation here, and that situation be say, this our brother, where he name be Obi Kubana be waiting to the Abikilompe, and the wife named the aspiring couple for younger generation. How? Okay, this one is their own, what they call it, their own award, Abi. After things are spoiling, people will no fee come out and say, and even say something, how the East have turned to a danger zone. Yet, you have been congratulated as a best couple. Best couple, Buo Neba Handara. The founder of Genevieve magazine, Betty Irabo, has named 4 couples she believes will inspire the younger generation. Among us, which are billionaire entrepreneur Obi Iyebu, aka Obi Kubana, and wife Ebele Iyebu, and actress Mary Njoko and husband Jason Njoko. The others are comedian Ray Wari Pikin and husband Victor Asoha, and actor Francis Duru and also his wife. All the couples Irabo noted have been married for at least 10 good years. Commenting on her reason for towing this line, the communist wrote on Instagram, I get many messages requesting that I hold seasons on marriage and how I have stayed married for close to 4 decades. I would have easily acceded to this legion of requests, but how do you sit down to talk about marriage to people whose marriage agenda do not align with yours? How do you address people who already have a very woke mindset about marriage? People who see marriage as a disposable commodity. People who already have plans B, C, and D, even as they exchange their marital vows. People who are not accountable to anyone. People who want to be both single and married in the same breath, according to Irabo. I have been married for close to 40 good years, yes, but I am nowhere close to being an expert in that institution. What I have is experience and a lesson from such experiences. I had no role models or couples goals to fashion my marriage after. My parents were divorced and I was raised by a single mother. I simply entered my new role as a wife with the determination and the commitment to make it work. How do I address people who see my type as dinosaurs with an old school mentality? What do old people like us know? Anyways, to come and impact a different generation with a progressive outlook on love, relationship, faith, and also marriage. Great marriages never happen by accident. They happen because the couples involved decide to make it work, as long as no one life is at risk from the other, according to Irabo. Palliatives, Christian Association of Nigeria, tenders request before the president of the Fulani government of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu. The Christian Association of Nigeria has appealed to the federal government to look beyond cash transfer as a palliative to cushion the effect of removal of fuel subsidy. The president of Christian Association of Nigeria, Daniel Oko, in a statement in Abuja on Friday said the body will urge the government to look into other forms of palliatives like the introduction of mass transport secure. Oko said the introduction of mass transports across states would reduce the cost of transportation, Nigeria News reports. This is the matter that people have been lamenting since. So you just wake up from your sleeping slumber, can my food. But you people are there. They are killing the remaining Christians in Plateau, in southern Kaduna. Can never come out and say anything. You want to talk to Buhari about bringing a transportation scheme. Who never know that this is what federal government have to do. Other states self, like what they call it, Diri of Bayelsa have done that. In Borno they have done that. In I think 2 other states also, they have already provided all these things for to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. You just wake up from your sleeping. After how many months that the removal of a fuel subsidy have been affecting the masses in the church. He noted that the fuel subsidy palliatives being considered by the government should go beyond cash transfers. Government should consider introducing mass transport, according to him, across the state to reduce the cost of transportation. The multiplier effect of this will be profound. Government should take measures to reduce the price of fuel. Such measures should include removal of unnecessary levies and taxes on importation or on imported petroleum products, the stabilization of the foreign exchange market, and putting back our local refineries to functional and effective use. The Christian Association of Nigeria boasts, who commended the all-inclusive governance of the new administration, appealed to the Nigerians to be patient, saying Nigerians should work together to build an economy that is inclusive, resilient, and offers opportunities for every Nigerian to thrive. According to Christian Association of Nigeria, the national balance seen in the recent appointment of service chiefs is heartwarming and reassuring that every segment of the Nigerian society is critical in the Nigerian project. The Christian Association of Nigeria, Kanu, therefore commends the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu for showing commitment towards building a united, peaceful, and progressive Nigeria. Given the massive corruption that had characterized the fuel subsidy regime over the years, there was a general consensus that the removal of the fuel subsidy had become inevitable if the Nigerian economy is to experience sustainable growth. However, it was also generally agreed that this must be done in such a way that Nigeria will be subjected to untold hardships. In other words, what is idealistic must be balanced with what is realistic. Against the backdrop of the recent unprecedented highs in fuel prices and alarming inflation, the national leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria wishes to express its deepest concerns over the prevailing hardship faced by Nigerians and calls for immediate steps to mitigate the situation. While Nigerians were trying to adjust to the initial increase in the fuel price of 540 and its consequential effect on the cost of transportation, food, goods and services, and the general cost of living, another hike alluded to market forces took the price to 617 naira. But that one is just official price. People are buying fuel today as I'm talking to you, 700 naira in some states. Some are buying 750 naira in some states. Now they just, anyone will get a petrol station, they'll just decide on what to sell because of either they are one or two in that very particular area. And that is why every time we keep calling the president, the state governors and other things, then that area where you find yourself, whether you find yourself in the east, west, north and south, how are you be able to manage that very, very particular position? That is the question we all. Because if you change this in now, all from the head down to the toe, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. All of us, everybody, they greedy. Not simply because president like this, president like that. But that's your own area. How are you managing it? That is the question. The question I throw on to you. This has placed an enormous burden on the already struggling masses, further widening the gaps between the rich and the poor and drastically eroding the purchasing power of ordinary citizens, making it extremely difficult for them to afford the basic necessity of life. The situation is just unbearable for millions of Nigerians who were already suffering poverty. While they can acknowledge the complex and difficult decisions the government must take to manage the nation's economy, there's an urgent need to prioritize measures that will alleviate rather than exacerbate the existing poverty level and hardship of Nigerians. It is therefore imperative that economic policies are formulated and implemented with the utmost care and consideration for the prevailing hardship experienced by Nigerians. We therefore appeal to the government as a matter of urgency to consider the following recommendations. Among others, government should engage the critical stakeholders in a meaningful dialogue to explore sustainable solutions to the current situation. It is pertinent to develop comprehensive economic policies that promote inclusive growth, job creation, and social well-being. Government should focus on diversifying the economy, reducing dependency on volatile commodities, and promoting investment in sectors with the potential to create sustainable employment opportunities. This will not only bolster economic resilience but also contribute to the overall well-being of the general citizens. While we agree that there is no gain without pain, the pain must not be unbearable. Consequently, we again urge the government to take into action the impact of its policies on the most vulnerable segments of the society and ensure they are not disproportionate, burdened, and subjected to unnecessary hardship. Government must listen to the concerns of the citizens and of Nigerian people and implement sound economic policies that prioritize the well-being of all citizens. By addressing the prevailing hardship caused by the recent fuel price hikes and high inflation, we can pave the way for a brighter future for all Nigerians. May God bless Nigeria and guide our leaders in making decisions that promote the well-being and the prosperity of all citizens. No. You don't think these people have that time? They don't have that time. They are too fast. They are too fast to get over 70 billion naira to the house. They are too fast to do that. But to us, the suffering masses of over 220 million people will do what? We have to tie their belt very well and have patience. They want us to sacrifice, but how much have they been able to sacrifice? Common to go to the office, the humongous package they are giving. That's why everyone is knocking head from east, west, north, and south, making sure that they are going to National Assembly or even from the state level. The humongous package, even welcome package that you have been elected to be member of that, either from the House or the Senate. Anyway, let us keep waiting. All these things started one day, and one day it will end. Suspended CBN Governor Emefiele set to appear in court when and other what charges. The suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, is scheduled to make a court appearance on July 25th at the Lagos Division of the Federal High Court. Okay, from Abuja now, they carry him go to Lagos. Emefiele has been detained by the Department of State Service, DSS, following allegations leveled against him. He is due to enter his plea before Justice Nicholas Uwe-Ibo. Recall that on June 10, DSS operatives visited Emefiele's residence in Ikoyi, Lagos, a day after his suspension as CBN governor by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Emefiele has been in custody since his arrest, a move that DSS insists was authorized by the by an Abuja Chief Magistrate Court, which is all a lie. However, a group of human rights lawyers led by Maxwell Ogbara and Ahmed Tijani have criticized Emefiele's continued detention and accused the DSS of ignoring existing court judgments. In response to the alleged contempt, the lawyers filed a notice of consequences of disobedience to the court or to a court order from 48 and a request to commit the alleged contemnor to prison from 49 at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja. They also called for the dismissal of the DSS Director General Mr. Yusuf Bichi after the agency referred to them as charge and bail lawyers and the sympathizers of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on Twitter. In a 2-count charge, FHC/L/437/2023, the DSS has accused Emefiele of unlawfully possession of a single-barrel shotgun Joseph Magnum 8371 without a license and 123 rounds of live ammunition cartridges, both violations of the firearms law of the Federation 2004. Peter Obi issues warning against distracting presidential tribunal judges. The Labour Party presidential candidate in the February 25th, 2023 elections, Peter Gregory Obi, has all the individuals he referred to as agents of retrogressions to refrain from behavior that might sidetrack the judicial from impartially while addressing the cases before them. His message was relieved via statement issued on Friday by the head of Ubidati Media Office, Diran Onifade, in Abuja. The statement highlighted Obi's deep concern about attempts by those unnamed entities to distract and divert the nation's judiciary from handling its crucial national tasks. Onifade said, "We find absolutely needless and utterly unacceptable some of the curious happenings around our judicial lately, starting with the threat of anarchy and chaos should the ruling party's candidate be legally removed by the Presidential Election Petition Court. The allegations of a telephone conversation between the esteemed Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, with some persons, which the Supreme Court has since denied, and most recently, the bizarre fake news claiming that one of the penalties at the ongoing hearing before the PEPC had resigned. Without a doubt, those behind these strange controversies have their devious motives, which certainly are not in the national interest. Our judiciary should not be burdened by those of these distractions when their entire focus should be on the critical national assignment, which requires their total concentration and everybody's support and cooperation to conclude. It is indisputable that the future of this country is tied to the outcome of the judiciary's assignment. Every hand must be on deck to help them pilot the ship of Nigeria state to safety from perdition, according to Peter Obi. Obi, that in media office, therefore, wishes to call on all parties or all patriots disastrous of seeing a new Nigeria to desist from any action that may hinder the delivery of justice by their lordships. Relatedly, we also want to use this medium to warn those rogue, troll, and fog machine agents to desist from ongoing attempt to smear or entrap P2B and Dati Ahmed under whatever ploy. We call at least 7 fake demarketing and discrediting campaigns against our principles. We are all the more concerned about plans to escalate these desperate acts ahead of the PEPC judgment. Nigerians must not be gullible to believe or accept such deep, fake, and dubious ploys, all in the name of partisan politics. While we continue to appreciate our security agencies' effort to secure Nigeria, we implore them to ensure that our principles are safe and secure in their persons. movements, and properties as they go about their public and private endeavors. Ubida Media Office, therefore, wishes to call on all patriots disastrous of seeing a new Nigeria to do what? To stop any nefarious acts. They deal from any action that may hinder the delivery of justice by their lawsuits or other forms of nefarious activities that may heat up the national polity. Billions lost to as massive fire got Lagos port. This news is supposed to be entertainment, but why I want to bring it here is who put this fire and what are they trying to hide? Who put this fire and who are they targeting? Somebody must have done this. I know my country and I know what they're capable of doing. A video showing the Terminal C managed by Port and Cargo Limited at the Chinkan Island of the Nigerian Ports Authority up in flames with cargoes worth millions of naira being destroyed has surfaced on the internet. Nigerian report that the incident occurred on Thursday, July 20. Although details on the cause of the fire mishap are still sketchy, it was gathered that the emergency responders appeared at the scene to battle with the fire. Meanwhile, every attempt made to speak with the management of the port and the cargo proved abortive as of the time of this report was failed. You can as well watch the video at www.nigerianews.com. Governors speak on long convoys, cause of governor. This one is coming from Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State. Governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Charles Mbafu Soludo, has remarked that the nation's political class should take a good look at themselves, especially after the controversial removal of fuel subsidy. The governor conveyed his thoughts on the topic, specifically mentioning the insensitivity of state governors parading around in a large convoy of over 20-something cars. Where are they going and who is inside those cars? Fueling it with our taxpayers' money. 20-something cars for one governor. Then the deputy would also go with 20-something cars. His own SSSS or special advisor would also go with 20-something cars. All will be fueled from the government purse. Why the poor civil servants have not even received complete 1 year salaries that they worked for. Nigeria, on our way done. So Ludo shared these remarks with the State House correspondents after the lengthy 5 hours National Economic Council meeting, which took place at the presidential villa in Abuja this last week Thursday. He said, I think it is an omnibus concept, and it is not something you sit down in a meeting to legislate for each and every state. But the fact that the council recognizes that this is an issue that each tier of government should now focus on as an area of concern. That we must live, even the cost of running the state, the way we live life, the way we even live. Someone gave an example of a state governor going with 20-something vehicles in a convoy, and all those have to be fueled, and so on and so forth. And the fact that even amongst ourselves, almost like in a peer review kind of setting, we are talking to ourselves. Hey, gentlemen, we will need to be sensitive to the times. We need to live within the average of the people that we are governing, and so on and so forth, and knock off the waste and irrelevance, so to speak. You have spoken well, but I hope they will listen. I would like to give a simple example. We are not going to legislate for everybody. Everybody is to go and look into his own mind. When I assumed office, for example, it was costing about 137 million naira every month to clean up public offices and so on. Okay, you are bringing a put to this style now. Okay, and you must have somewhere, because I know this one now can never be you. You wait as attacking P2B. that P2B have left nothing. Now you have come with your own. This one is now your own. What will I call it? Your own praying mantis. Clean up offices and so 107 million just to clean up offices. Today in Anambra, we are doing 11 million naira a month from 137 on a monthly basis. This is just an illustration. It is a thing that we are persuading each and every one of us to look into, that we should check our books and look ourselves in the mirror and move with the times. So it is not that council sat and began to prescribe you have 12 number of advisors or 5. We didn't get to that, but each person will do that. He added that the council discussed the possibility of negotiating a new minimum wage amid spiraling inflation and high cost of living. He said allocation to be shared among federating units for July will be around 900 billion naira and not 2 trillion naira in order to moderate the impact on the system. According to Chukwuma Charles Mbafu Soludo, Tinubu's ally James Ibori in fresh trouble as UK court moves against him for the second time or third time. Judge David Tomlinson of Southwark Crown Court in the United Kingdom, UK, is set to order the seizure of more than £100 million, $129 million from former Delta State Governor James Ibori, who was convicted of fraud and money laundering in Britain. Ibori, a close ally of President Bola Tinubu, was the governor of Delta from 1999 to 2007. The former governor had in 2012 admitted to 10 charges of fraud and money laundering and was sentenced to 13 years in prison. He was extradited from Dubai to London in 2011 after fleeing Nigeria. The British authorities indicted him for stealing public funds and laundering them through UK banks and properties. As the confiscation proceedings against Ibori are drawing close to completion, Judge Tomlinson has made factual findings regarding how much money Ibori benefited from his crimes. According to Reuters, during the hearing on Thursday, the prosecution and the defense presented their arguments on how the confiscation figure should be calculated based on the judge's findings. The judge is expected to finalize and issue his order on Friday. Jonathan Keenan, the prosecution lawyer, told the court that the total amount that should be confiscated from the Ibori was £101.5 million, and that if he failed to pay, he should be faced an additional prison term of 5 to 10 good years. Reuters quoted James Ibori as saying he planned to appeal against the confiscation order. Nigerians report that Ibori is a powerful political godfather with close ties with President Tinubu. He has visited the president thrice in the presidential villa Abuja since his inauguration. And I see him now. So my wonderful people, my viewers and subscribers, if you like saying I here, we'll take back break. Until I hear my voice again, I still remain your one and the only Okute Daily Talk. Make on continue to subscribe to my channel, like, comment. Most important, please share this message, let it go viral. I still remain Okute Daily Talk. Have a nice day. May the God bless us all, the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Bye for now. Kenesiano.